here is a kind of a forecasting and planning and allocation technique to try and sell more of your capacity, your virtual capacity, and getting more revenue that way. Again, it's a technique in the cloud that we can use that is born from utility computing. Next slide. We have the ability then to, another way here that Penelope mentioned earlier, is this idea of you can actually start to exploit not only the portfolio focus that I mentioned earlier about commodity areas of the portfolio, or high yield areas of capacity, niche areas, or fractionation of the portfolio. Another thing you can start to do is that with your team of people in your company, your provider company, you can start to A, multi-skill them, B, look at their specialist skills and start to exchange those skills where appropriate. And what you're starting to do is you can start to leverage the power of the knowledge that your company as a provider has of a particular industry or a particular cloud service. And what we're seeing, particularly with the companies that we work with at the moment, is that you can start to leverage that kind of skill into the cloud, and you start to what we call doing more niche services. So you could have HR on demand, or you have customer relationship development on demand. And what you can start to do is you can kind of partition that knowledge and start to resell it where you're allowed to, obviously with client confidentiality operating at all times. You can start to leverage that across the ecosystem. And this is something I found when I went to Holland recently, just a name drop, and I met what we call a multi-client service center there. And what they found was that it was actually a funny effect that we hadn't thought of before, is that the fact you had everybody in the same room offering a number of shared services, they actually don't just sit and not talk to each other. They actually do talk to each other. Clearly the confidentiality is observed. What you're finding is the ability to actually leverage the power of the